Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with a discussion video. So you may remember a couple of months ago, I did make a video about the Future Cube because it had some pretty interesting text with it that seemed to hint at stuff. And, well, it seems like it sure did actually, and now, with the recent update before Nifty Knitting, they've added a couple of new things. I was not sure whether to make a video about this because I was not 100% sure if the new stuff is in fact new, but it is. So let's start from the beginning, where SimGuru George, just a bit over an hour after Nifty Knitting stuff released, tweeted this picture. Just a Future Cube, nothing else, and nothing else to the picture, just the Future Cube sitting there, and I was like, no, George, seriously, Nifty Knitting just came out and you're already trying to hint at future stuff again? Like, oh gosh. So, everyone took to their games, well not everyone, but definitely some people did, and it turns out there are a couple of new Future Cube hints. The full article from Sims Community, which I will link in the video description below, says at this part, for the specific reason I went to the text string files of The Sims 4 to see what's specifically updated, and I can confirm that the developers have removed previous hints for content that's been released and added these following ones. Side by side, sure. Spaced out? Yup. Stack 'em up? And the most popular destination to elope is not yet known. For that first one, the common consensus does seem to be that, yes, this is hinting at bunk beds, and I agree with that. It does sound like it could be bunk beds, because, yeah, we can place beds side by side and we can space them out, but bunk beds are stacked beds, basically. So I really hope that's the case. We did recently get bunk beds in The Sims Mobile, which I thought was pretty funny, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean that it will also be coming to The Sims 4 soon, but it definitely would be nice, especially since they did come to The Sims Mobile during this sort of like crossover with The Sims 4 because they had this event and update related to eco-lifestyle. It would also kind of go with some of the other content that we received this year, because we got ladders in the free update before Eco Lifestyle, and we got a whole stuff pack dedicated to tiny living that unfortunately did not have bunk beds or loft beds, so I think even though with ladders they came later, maybe that could also happen for bunk beds later on and go with a pack with a different sort of theme. It could be maybe a family pack, but it could also be anything else, like with the winter vacation pack. It could go with that too, with having bunk beds in ski lodges, though I'm not sure how soon that idea may come true, because they basically talked about that in a previous survey from this year, but I don't know if they would already be so far along with that idea that it would already release this year. But since we did get ladders recently, that could also help Mactus make bunk beds a lot more easily, because they already have an animation from a ladder that does not infinitely go through the ground like the water ladders in Island Living do. So that could just be a step towards bunk beds, and then maybe later this year we will get them. There's even a mod available for bunk beds right now, and I think it is pretty well done, and I think it did help having the ladders in the game to make this possible. And Panda Sam is the one who made this, and they even today posted a preview for a toddler bunk bed. It's not a ladder, it's actually steps in this case, since toddlers can't go up ladders. That's probably why they did it this way, but yeah, super cute. I'm really looking forward to the toddler bunk bed being released as well. What about that other Future Cube message though? The most popular destination to elope is not yet known. And I think there are two different possibilities for this. The first possibility being that it could be related to another vacation-related pack coming out in the near future. Because I did mention that winter vacation idea, but I'm still a bit iffy as to whether we'd get it this soon, unless they're hinting stuff that far in advance to 2021 already. But yeah, I guess I could imagine that happening, because we did get a world ideas part on one of the surveys, and one of those ideas was for Swiss mountain Alps, and I would love to see that. I'd love to see a mountain-based world in general, whether it's related to winter activities or not, but especially with Swiss Alps, that makes a lot of sense to put skiing and snowboarding in the game. So it could be related to a new vacation destination, but there's another possibility that I think is far, far more likely, to the point where I think it might be a little too on the nose, because there is that challenge that is going on right now on the gallery in relation to Sparked, the new reality TV show, and you can upload your Sims or your story or your build for this theme, which is about weddings, because it's like, oh, the most popular, because we're voting on the creations by hitting the like button, and then it's not yet known because at this time we don't know who the winners are. It is interesting because I never would have made that sort of guess, but since this did come alongside the Nifty Knitting patch, it makes a lot of sense that they're hinting to something that is pretty current as well. So unless we do get a vacation pack this year, I don't think that hints at particularly anything super exciting, but the stack 'em up, yeah, I'm feeling bunk beds with that. And there are still some hints on the future cube that are still there, or at least they might or might not be hints, because the Sims community article also says some of the same hints have also remained on the future cube, such as, I see a gnome wielding a frozen rabbit riding atop a llama into battle against an utterly impressive foe. This one I think is another Spark related hint, but towards the show itself, because gnome, frozen rabbit, aka Freezer Bunny, riding atop a llama, and then utterly impressive foe, which I think is the cow plant. So they basically mentioned all 4 teams of Sparked within there, so I don't think that one is really too deep either. But I can't help but wonder if this is potentially hinting at Team Cowplants winning the whole thing, or at least making it very far into the competition. And, well, now we're at the point where episode 3 is airing tomorrow, and Team Cowplant is in the final 2. So at least it does make sense. It's like, oh, they are an utterly impressive foe because they've made it that far into the competition. Next we have, without a doubt, that thing we talked about will come to be, as all of the signs are pointing to the answer that we agreed upon in our last discussion, and your uncertainty certainly shall become certain under certain situations in no uncertain terms. The future is soon, trademark. Your future looks pixelated, and somebody is definitely going to get exactly what they want. Those other ones are pretty general, and I think most of those are just there to be humorous, not really hinting at anything in particular, except for maybe the somebody is definitely going to get exactly what they want. I thought the other day maybe it was actually hints just in relation to Nifty Knitting stuff, because, well, this was a pack that many of us voted on, and we got it now, but it's still in the game, and there were some hints that were apparently taken out according to Sims communities, so for that to still be in there, I guess it could still mean something that is still not in the game yet, but it could be anything. You could just look at any future pack and then retroactively say when that comes out that, oh, it was hinting at this the whole time, so it's just way too general. It's not specific enough. One last thing I want to talk about before ending this video is to go back and focus a little bit more on the fact that SimGuru George did tweet that future cube picture so soon after Nifty Knitting stuff released. I'm sure part of that was to just say, in a maybe not that subtle way, to say that, oh yeah, there's maybe some stuff in the future cube that you should find. but I'm wondering if this is also hinting at the next pack already being announced so soon. Sure, at first that might sound a little far-fetched, but remember last year? We got Moschino stuff during the summer, and then only a week after it came out, they already announced Realm of Magic. So while it would be a little too easy and predictable for that to already happen where, oh, we're already gonna get a game pack announcement next week, maybe it's still possible. I'm not banking on it by any means. I'm thinking maybe late August we'll get an announcement on it, but yeah, that would be pretty wild if we're already getting the next game pack so soon after Nifty Knitting. I can kind of see it with Realm of Magic and Moschino because I wouldn't be surprised if EA knew that Moschino was going to be horribly received, so then they would release Realm of Magic pretty quickly after because they would know that so many people wanted witches back in The Sims 4. So it's like, okay, cool, we can kind of just brush Moschino under the rug. But then I feel like that wouldn't be quite a good strategy right now because, oh yeah, Nifty Knitting, like I said, it's a community stuff pack. Many of us voted on that, and in my opinion at least, it's the best stuff pack they've made for The Sims 4. There's so much gameplay to it compared to other stuff packs, and I think there was a lot of love put into this one. A lot of little details and just cool stuff that integrates into everyday gameplay as well, instead of being a more like standalone experience. So I think maybe it is still going to be soon-ish, maybe not like a week from now, but yeah, I think it could be a potential hint to keep our eyes out and be ready for another pack announcement really soon. So feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think there is going to be more stuff coming in the future that is being hinted at from the Future Cube? And be sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with my latest content from The Sims, Paralive, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!